Before I do, I just want to tell Muhammad was mentioned about the NAMI Poetry Workshop, which I am the facilitator. Um, I just wanted to tell everyone that the Poetry Workshop is on every third Thursday of the month from 6 to 8. Our next meeting will be on October 19th. So it's free and everyone's welcome. So if you want more information about NAMI, you can go to NAMINYCmetro.org, or you can call the NAMI helpline at 212-684-3264, Monday through Friday. Okay. So, okay. This first poem I want to read is, I know this month is a very somber month, of course. It's the anniversary of 9/11. It happened 18 years ago. So, this first poem is called One Tuesday Morning. It was a bright, sunny day on a regular morning. One Tuesday morning, it happened without warning. The morning that turned our morning commute into a nightmare. A morning of peace, tranquility, equality, and hope became a morning of chaos, mayhem, pain, and destruction. A morning full of laughter became a morning full of sadness. A morning full of happiness became a morning full of anger. A morning of love became a morning of hate. A morning of calm became a morning of bloodshed. On that morning, humanity witnessed the ultimate wake-up call that shook the foundation of this planet we call Earth. On that morning, we were living in fear and our human rights were temporarily taken away from us, violated for no reason at all. On that morning, the Twin Towers were torn down, the Pentagon was seriously damaged by airplanes full of innocent people. On that morning, innocence was threatened by an evil force whose mission was to end everything that we stand for. On that morning, heaven became hell. On that morning, New York, Washington, D.C., and Pennsylvania became victims of an unlikely crime that was beyond our imagination. On that morning, America was wounded that day. On that morning, the entire world stood still for 24 hours. Then on the next day, things slowly returned to normal. We realized that if we stay scared, they win. If we hide, they win. If we die, they win. We certainly realize that we can't let them win. We can't let fear control our lives. So we pick up the pieces and clean up the mess, and we walk on, we move forward. Move forward to a shining light, move forward to a new beginning. Move forward to a brighter era, move forward to a better future. Move forward to a different pace. Move forward to a difficult journey. Yes, there will be consequences. There will be more challenges ahead. There will be new obstacles to climb. There will be new destinations to travel. There will be more sacrifices than ever before. There will be casualties and survivors. There is no question that life has a beginning and an ending. But we must decide how we continue our story known as the existence of planet Earth. We must decide how America must continue its legacy. Humanity is precious, so is life. Hope is precious, so is peace. Freedom is precious, so is justice. The most important thing about this whole disaster is, although we don't have to remind ourselves about it, we do have to understand that we will remember that day and not forget the innocent people, the cops, the firefighters, the paramedics, and the military that were there on that day, died for us for a reason. We must not forget. We must not give up. We must move on. We will overcome. We will remember that morning, that one Tuesday morning. This next poem I wrote back in 2005. This was the year that Rosa Parks died, and I remember hearing about Rosa Parks when I was in school, so I wrote piece about that particular day that changed the course of history. Of course, the one that began the civil rights movement. It's called She Said No. December 1st, 1955, a day that no one will never forget. Why, you ask? It was on that day, the day the nation changed dramatically, the day a woman named Rosa Parks did the unthinkable. It was on that day Rosa Parks was on her way home. She took a bus and she sat in the front row, not the back row where colored people used to sit during that time. A white man saw Rosa Parks and said to her, "Move to the back row, please." She quietly said, "No, sir, I'm very tired." He told the bus driver, who was white, and he went to Rosa and said, "Please, ma'am, move to the back row." She replied, "No." The bus driver called a policeman who was white. The cop went to Rosa and he said, "Excuse me, miss, would you please move to the back row?" She said, "No." The cop got angry and said, "Either you move to the back row or go to jail." She still said no. So the cop arrested Rosa and sent her to jail. The next day, all the black people responded. They all said no to the Alabama bus system. They said no to segregation. They said no to slavery. They said no to violence. They said no to discrimination. They said no to harassment. The government got the message and they responded. The civil rights movement was born right before our very eyes. Rosa Parks was the reason why we are still here. 59 years later, we've seen the world change, but our message stays the same. We still say no for a lot of reasons. We say no to drugs. We say no to violence. We say no to discrimination. We say no to corruption. We say no to sexual harassment. We say no to rape. We say no to abuse. We say no to war. We say no to torture. We say no to homicide. We say no to genocide. We say no to suicide. We say no to molestation. We say no to mutilation. We say no to pollution. We say no to racism. We say no to fascism. We say no to bigotry. We say no to terrorism. We say no to communism. We say no to hate. We say no to evil right in their face. And we won. We survive. We persevere. That simple two-letter word saved our lives. And it's all because of that one woman who made a difference. That one woman who started a movement. That one woman who started a revolution. That one woman who gave us freedom and justice for all mankind. So we thank Rosa Parks for sacrificing her life for all of us. We thank her for the courage she gave us. We honor her for making our world a happier place. And it's all because of that one simple two-letter word. Here's to Rosa Parks, the woman who taught us to just say no. Thank you. Yeah, one more. This last one I'm read is called Fantasia. Somewhere in this dark and crazy world we live in lies a place where you can forget the real world and discover things you've never seen before. Somewhere in this dark and crazy world we live in, there is a fantasia that exists in our minds where you can explore our deepest, darkest secrets. Somewhere in this dark and crazy world we live in, there is a parallel world where you can see no war, no violence, no drugs, no homicide, no suicide, and no such thing as hell. Somewhere in this dark and crazy world we live in, there is a bus that will take you to a magical mystery tour, and you will believe in things you heard but never seen before. Somewhere in this dark and crazy world we live in, there's a black hole. You enter it, and you will find what's on the other side of the universe. Somewhere in this dark and crazy world we live in, there's a dark side waiting for you, and it can predict your future. But beware, you will not like what you find. Somewhere in this dark and crazy world we live in, there is a place called heaven, a peaceful world where you can discover the truth about yourself and the sins you made. But in the imagination we dreamed about all the time was just a dream, and in reality, you and I know that we are still living in a dark and crazy world. Thank you. Thank you. 30 days. Every 30 days, things happen for a reason. Sometimes stuff happens without warning, and we have to watch the evening news for the latest details. Every 30 days, these things happen for a reason. Some good, some bad. Somebody gets murdered, tortured, raped, abused, even abandoned. Some people just don't take life for granted. Every 30 days, things happen for a reason. We wait for our loved ones to come home. But there is a long delay that might last a long time. They might not come back at all. Every 30 days, things happen for a reason. A volcano erupts suddenly. Terrorists blowing up buildings with innocent people standing in their way. The president signs a new law as we speak. Mine workers are stuck up underground. No way out, no sign of hope. An airplane crashes in the Hudson River. Someone dies every day. Someone is born every day. Somebody wins, somebody will lose. Someone will get arrested, someone will pay the ultimate price. Sometimes in life we find out the hard way that not everything is fair. We all have to suffer the consequences. It happens every 30 days for a reason. Thank you.